We need to just start over from the top.
Yeah, because he's going to announce the stream on Twitter.
Wait, really?
We were going to start the
It's
stream.
connecting to YouTube. So.
Hello, YouTube.
Okay, you're live. Start over.
Hi, okay. So this is Carbide. It's like a car sort of bides its time. That's where the name comes from. Nothing to do with tooling or any materials. Sometimes cars do that. It's kind of strange. Anyway, so it's kind of like, so concept of notebooking programming around, which is kind of like a REPL. So the idea is that when you program stuff, you want to sort of interact with it to see what things can do. So we can do stuff, interesting stuff like this here. And like you can see that 1 plus 1 actually does include 2, and that it actually is a 1 there, and it sort of evaluates. And you can also, like most things that do this, you can also sort of move it around and see it, and one should sort of change the other. All right. And you know, if you want to change the result, you can say, oh well, I'm changing the result, so I should probably figure out what's going on backwards. Because hey, you know, algebra and stuff like that. Okay, this can be used for doing a bit more things too. So things are a bit more complex. Fahrenheit, centigrade. Oh my God. You know, like this is probably pretty cold, and we can say that this is really, really cold. This is probably how cold it is right now. Actually, no, we're actually a bit warmer than this, but well, something like that.
Probably like -5 now, right?
Yeah, something like that. All right, so this.
21 Fahrenheit, if you want.
So it gets a bit more complicated when you don't do things that are numbers. I'll sort of explain how this thing works later. But we can sort of calculate alpha by volume, alpha by weight, stuff like that too. So, okay, so now let's just get a little bit weirder, because how the hell do you even do this? And the answer is that it's using a trick called background propagation, which basically means that we sort of randomly change the value and see whether it gets closer to this value or not. So for example, I can put Livesteam edit distance, and I can say here, frost sucks, and it'll like recognize it.
Thanks, Lee.
Okay, no, I didn't actually do what I wanted, but I wanted to change this part here. But hey, actually, if we can name the talk frost sucks, that'll also be pretty great too. Yeah, I didn't really plan this thing out. Anyways, what it actually does here is that every time I make a change here, it sort of goes somewhere around here and changes and sort of adds the character I'm typing in, and then checks whether the level change edit distance is closer between this one and that one, and sort of chooses at different points. You can do this for more interesting stuff too, like you can literally reverse the string, and you can probably use this for other stuff too. Oh boy. Loaded.
Whoa.
And this should kind of work, maybe. That looks kind of reasonable.
Wow, so it's like working backwards from the result to the
Well,
code.
yeah. It works for like pretty much arbitrary functions. I solved the halting problem. No, that's not actually how it works. And so partially the idea is it can interact with this thing using widgets, and it can kind of And the widgets can sort of display things like images. They can display matrices as like other stuff too. And this is an image. There's you can't do anything interesting with back propagation on images, unfortunately. Can be arbitrary. For example, this one you can sort of plot stuff too with them, and sort of like type stuff in and come see what they look like in the plot. These widgets can be useful for interacting with more complex data types like dates. For example, I'm not necessarily sure what it is, what day it is. So hey, this is kind of a trivial example, but if a date was typed in somewhere random and some input came in, finding it would be more tricky than that. The widgets could be actually useful in some cases, called RAG-EXP. I don't know if anyone knows about the RAG-EXP node module at NPM, but it sort of helps in debugging regexes. It just sort of, when you type one, it tells you make some random stuff. This is kind of useful. And that's a DHL tracking window because I'm tracking a shipment. Anyways, that is Carbide. That is Carbide. My name is Lee. I didn't actually make this thing. I don't actually know how to code. So for those of you who are very surprised, like for us, that's it. It's made by a guy named Kevin Kwok, and I'm demoing it. I did some changes to it, but yeah, Anyone have any questions?
How did you make the predictor work on Linux?
That's a very difficult question, much harder than anything I did here.
That's a full PhD thesis.
Can you repeat the question?
What?
Doesn't need to be repeated.
Work on Linux? I don't really know. I dragged the window very, very fast and showed up on a different one.
Sounds good to me.
Nice. Thanks.
All right.
Is this on GitHub?
No.
No?
No.
It's a private repo. I saw it on your computer.
It's
Make it
not.
public.
No.
All right.
Did you hear David's talk?
No.
Just false push.
No. I use Bitbucket.
Cool. Thank you very much. So
Wait.
there was somebody who wanted to.
Oh shit. Am I?
talk about